DramaCityProductions.com.
You are plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Space is the place, and the sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the
one and only
Troy Adams.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to listen to us. It's the Podcast Wrestling Society, and it's the 36th anniversary of our first Wrestling Wednesday. I am your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and while you ascend from the depths of hell, I will descend from the heavens. I am Troy Adams, and my broadcast partner here today, he frequently crashes into homes with sledgehammers to terrorize them. He is Greg. What up, Greg?
What up? I forgot about that.
Hell yeah. How could you, man?
That was so horrible.
That was the one thing I really remember from that feud. That's the
one thing I forgot.
Dude, I was watching the build-up to that match, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot he did all this other stuff. All I remembered was the damn, Triple H busting in with a sledgehammer. Oh, man.
It was no handgun, but, it'll do.
Oh, man. Hunter's got a gun, man. That makes more sense.
Yeah, Why? Yeah, Hunter's got a gun.
I watched WrestleMania 25 back, man, after you and I ripped the hell out of it last week. I didn't hate it. I'll say that. I mean, it wasn't like, oh man, this was great, but I didn't hate it. You, on the other hand, I think you did hate it.
Really hated it.
Well, I mean,
there's a couple of elements I loved, but overall I hated it.
Yeah, well, I can probably figure out what you really loved about it, but we'll get into all that. I just wanted to start off by letting you all know there is some cool stuff up on our Patreon, man. There's more stuff up there now. More content!
More content! So
go there now.
Well, in order to get it, bro, you gotta climb up a pole.
Well, we don't have it on a pole, but you can pay us a toll. See what I did there? To get behind the paywall.
As a poet, you didn't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a pretty fart smeller, too. But anyway.
Wow.
Kyle and I put some stuff up from me, his, and Greg's Quest for Cleveland. And I have uploaded the video from Cleveland to our YouTube channel, so go check that out. It's not too long, about 10 minutes long for the video. Cool pictures and videos and music to go with it, all that cool stuff. I did my best.
Side note, did you all know that Cleveland is cold? I had no clue.
Yeah, actually, in the summertime, it's pretty damn hot, believe it or not. So, hey, I rhymed again.
There it is again.
Holy crap! Me and R-Truth need to join forces, man.
Please no.
Oh, come on. But anyway, we'd be the greatest duo of all time. Dance break. But go to Patreon.
Oh yeah, I can see your little ass dancing.
I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, yeah, go to patreon.com/PodRest Society. It's super cheap. Just, to get some cool
Get a
content.
Naked Comedian shirt. You want to.
Hell yeah. And you can help us out here on the society. Be a paying member, a patron of the society, and sign up for the Patreon. It's cheaper than the WWE Network, man, and it's not as much content, and historical value, but it will make you laugh, and it's some good stuff. So there you go. Go check it out. And of course, every week we talk about them. It's our network, DramaCityProductions.com. But go to DramaCityProductions.com/PWS. That's our site. You can see all the archived episodes, some great stuff there if you haven't caught up on the show, and I don't know why you haven't. You need to. And of course, click on merch or more merch. You can see our merchandise stores, Redbubble or Spreadshirt. Got some good stuff on there, man. Some good stuff on there.
Do it!
But, yeah, that's enough for my shilling for right now. I'll tell you about WrestlingWithWrestling.com later and all of their great content. But, Greg, just to start off, we're not covering the news anymore, as we said last week. But I do like to touch on a subject, and I just want to get your opinions on this, because, you are personally going to WrestleMania.
Hells yeah.
You and Ramon. So, I want to get your... I know I texted you yesterday, I believe, and said apparently this will be the longest wrestling show in WWE history.
I'm all for that. The longer, the better.
Shoot it into my veins, man.
All right, move on, because this is getting weird.
But, yeah, I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. It comes once a year, like you said. It's like a holiday, man. So I don't mind.
It is. This is my Christmas. And my birthday's this week, and I don't even give a damn.
Oh, how about that? Oh, happy early birthday, or by the time this posts, happy birthday. But
let's leave the let's leave the number out of there, please.
Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
much like Chris Benoit, we don't mention that.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, everybody wish Greg a happy birthday. Either you can find his Twitter tagged on all of our episodes on Twitter, and on Instagram as well. Or you can just leave him a happy birthday on the Twitter or Instagram or Facebook of the podcast. He'll see it. He checks it. So either way. But man, since you're going, you'll have a better opinion on this stuff than me watching it at home. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I'm still super excited because it's WrestleMania. I don't care if I'm going or not. But you going is a different experience, So
Wrestle freaking Mania.
Exactly. So, and I saw you had an opinion on this as well. Do you think it's a swerve with the Baron Corbin match, man?
I hope like the lights go out and the Undertaker lays him out and that's the match or something, because
yeah.
Not to get off topic, but I feel like Samoa Joe and Cena will be happening.
Right.
Joe's dropped some hints. So, if it's not Cena, it's got to be the Undertaker.
I don't know. It could go either way with the U.S. title, because it could either be Cena versus Angle, or it could be Joe versus Cena. Because the thing with Joe is, like, it seems like they're continuing on with that four-way feud.
Yeah, which is getting old quick, so...
Yeah, a little bit. Because I said something to Kyle, I was like, they're not going to do a rematch of that freaking Fastlane match, are they? And he's like, well, that Fastlane match was a rematch of a SmackDown match. So, I don't know. It could be any one of those three guys taking on Joe, but for some reason, I feel it's going to be Mysterio versus Andrade, number 5021, on the pre-show, of course, Yeah,
there's going to be like 7 matches on that thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey man, they got to fill time. But yeah, I've only seen like 1 or 2 people defending the whole Baron Corbin situation, and it's like, I'm not going to get like upset about it because I really do think it's a swerve. And you and I are both Baron Corbin fans.
There's very few of us, but
yeah, we're few and far between. We're like unicorns. You only find us once in a blue moon. Some people think we don't exist. Corbin is.
They do exist.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. That match is not good. And I've seen people say, well, Angle can't go anymore. He's gassed after like 2 minutes. Like, yeah, but they sent The Undertaker off with Roman. And a guy told me on Twitter, he's like, yeah, well, that was a mistake. Undertaker looked like crap, so they shouldn't repeat it. I'm like...
Yeah, because he would have looked amazing against someone else.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wait, so he looks like crap against a top guy, so he's not going to look like crap against a mid-card glorified jobber at this point? Like, come on, dude. Like, that logic doesn't make sense. And what about Ric Flair? Ric Flair didn't exactly look like, Ric Flair against Shawn Michaels, but he was in a high-profile match against him at WrestleMania, 24?
Well, this is different. Roman sucks. Remember that.
Yeah. Well, so, like, why would it... Oh, well, Shawn Michaels can carry Ric Flair, Roman can carry Undertaker, but no, Kurt Angle, one of the greatest wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots, no, he gets a mid-card guy. I don't see the justification. And I asked the guy, I'm like, okay, what about this? I'm like, and some other guy was backing him up, and I said, okay, would you be okay with Triple H getting a send-off match against Jinder Mahal at WrestleMania?
Well, he is a former WWE champion.
Yeah, he is, but he still sucks. And nobody
former champion.
Yeah, well, Great Khali's a former world heavyweight champion. You don't see me telling.
Hey, you know what? When you think about it, Kurt Angle's facing a former Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Oh, that's something.
That and $5 can get you a Frappuccino from Starbucks. A small. It's a small, but it's still a Frappuccino. Oh, good Lord! I don't know. If that really is the match, and that's the final, that's your final answer. Like, I've never cared less about a Kurt Angle match. I'd rather see him face Apollo Crews again, or hell, put him up against Chad Gable in a rematch. That'd be better. But I don't know.
Well, Shelton Benjamin called him out on Twitter, and he accepted. So,
yeah, I'd much rather see that one. Shelton can still go. The last bit of WrestleMania I wanted to bring up, I brought this up to Kyle on the Patreon. Do you think it's going to be a 4-way women's title match or a tag title match?
Oh, yeah. Definitely every match is going to be a cluster, but yes.
Yeah, they're pulling the New Japan card. Let's throw as many people into one match.
Oh, they're pulling the WrestleMania 16 card.
That too. Well, I don't usually back up, and say, oh, Uncle Dave was right. But Uncle Dave said months ago, he's like, from everything I've heard, almost every match on the Mania card is going to be a multi-person match. Like, yay!
Yeah, as long as Seth walks out with the title, I don't give a damn.
Whoa, Seth? No, it's going to be Brock Lesnar. Come on, you got to keep it. You got to drag it out like they did with Roman. He can't win it first go because you got to swerve the audience, pal.
No, here's a swerve. Daniel Cormier comes out and gets involved.
Oh man, that would be great. And here's the speaking of MMA fighters getting involved, and you're gonna laugh because I called him an MMA fighter and he sucks. But what do you think? Do you think Travis Brown is going to play any part in anything?
I think he will, but I'm just trying to figure out who would counteract him.
I hope Becky lays him out or punches him or something. Just to get more heat. I think that'd be awesome.
Heat.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
would erupt over and cheers over that.
Well, hell yeah. Well, that's what I meant. But get more shine. I don't know what to call it, but you know what I mean. I'd be happy, but I know you'd lose your crap.
Yeah, I hate him. I think he sucks.
For many reasons.
At UFC 200, when Kane put him down, that was like the loudest I've ever cheered.
Wow. Your boy, Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, he's... we don't talk about him right now. He's he's in a funk.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know what to say about his last fight, but we're kind of veering off the subject, but just... Yeah,
I think a guy like Braun would be perfect to do something with him, but...
Braun? Well, yeah, because Braun would murder him. If the only thing you're going to do with Braun Strowman is some stupid crap with the SNL rejects,
No, didn't you watch Raw?
I did.
He's in the Battle Royal.
Oh, the Andre the Giant one? Yeah.
No, the other one.
Oh, the women's one? Okay. Dude, that was...
they're wasting him. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Everybody's like... I've seen so many posts online. Does anybody care about Braun Strowman anymore? No, neither do I.
Remember when all the fanboys were like giddy for him, and now they hate his guts?
Well, in their defense, I think it's because WWE acts like they won't pull the trigger on him. They're like, he's going to be the guy. Well, they one day they're like, he's going to be the guy, and then the next day they're like, just kidding, pull him back. I don't know.
He can rip cars apart.
Yay. He's flipped.
Not only that, he can tip over stuff.
Yeah, and he can find random grappling hooks to pull stuff down. He's done some stupid crap
They're
on
not
the roster.
random. They're strategically placed. Okay.
Yeah, because they just have random grappling hooks laying around the backstage area in case somebody wants to, do a good Batman impression.
Wow.
Real quick, before we go into our first promo break here, and when we come back, we'll actually talk more about the body of WrestleMania 25. But just to set it all up here, it was the second WrestleMania ever to be held in Houston, Texas. WrestleMania 25. It took place April 5th, 2009 at Reliant Stadium. And this was when all three brands were still in effect. Raw, SmackDown, and ECW.
Hell yes.
Oh, yeah. Attendance for the show was 72,744. Like I said, you and I had very differing opinions on this. I will say this. Like, on paper, I felt that they booked this card well. Like, as far as, like, the match ordering. Because it was like the big three marquee matches were at the end, and the two title matches closed the show. Unfortunately, the match that was third to last blew the other two away.
I corrected it next year.
Yeah, and it wasn't as good. I mean, it was still great, but not as good. But either way, I just love WrestleMania 25, the 25th anniversary. It was not the 25th anniversary. It was the 24th anniversary. But whatever.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but who cares?
It was just real weird. I don't know. But let's take our first promo break here, y'all. When we come back from telling you about some other great podcasts here on the Drama City Productions Podcast Network on DramaCityProductions.com. Brand new revamped website. Looks awesome. We will dive straight into WrestleMania 25. This one was a very divisive show, especially between me and my co-host. We'll be right back.
Drama City Productions presents.
Hey, it's Ben here, host of the Regular Stories podcast, a podcast where I interview interesting people about their lives. These are not celebrities, they're not the elite. These are regular people, and these are their stories. You can follow us on Facebook at Regular Stories and on Instagram at Regular Stories. We are everywhere that you can get a podcast. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, just about everywhere else. Look up Regular Stories Podcast.
Drama City Productions.com.
Paycheck. Red. Let's talk about Paycheck and Red. Because these boys don't just talk the talk. They are best friends. They see eye to eye. They communicate. They understand each other and they understand the world we live in. They're weird enough to superimpose pictures of their faces onto pictures of other people. Let that sink in. Johnny Paycheck. Wayne Red Mincy.
All right, we are back to talk WrestleMania 25. Let's look at some of these matches, man, because I had to watch
Can we just say this? It was a terrible show, saved by a match between two icons and a Ricky Steamboat match. What does that sound like to you?
Yeah. Man, this match, or this card was odd. I'll say that. And also, there was a dark match on the show. I forget, like, I'm forgetting my timelines here as far as, like, what was on what at the time. We couldn't see the dark match at this time, could we?
No, it was recorded right for the DVD.
Okay. Well,
Blu-ray, I mean. Who does DVD anymore? Yeah.
Wow. Well, the dark match was a lumberjack tag team match to unify the WWE and World Tag Team Championships.
And can I just say that match was great, by the way? So I'm glad they kept it off the pay-per-view.
Well, I haven't seen it. It was 8 minutes long. John Morrison and The Miz were World Tag Team Champions, and the Colognes, at the time, Carlito and Primo, were the WWE Tag Team Champions. And the Colognes won it all to unify the titles.
Shockingly.
Yeah. I was surprised with that one. But apparently, this was scheduled to go on the regular show, but the reason it was bumped to the dark match was because Kid Rock wanted more time for his performance.
Oh, God, yeah, we needed that.
Because, if there's one thing we needed, it was more Kid Rock.
And he didn't even get to body slam any Democrats. What the hell?
Oh, my God.
That was a line from the Hall of Fame for anyone who hears that and thinks something.
Yeah.
He said that in his speech.
Well, I've got to ask, what is an adequate amount of Kid Rock? because
Let's say 6 minutes. We'll give him 2 songs.
Yeah. Well, they gave him more than that. How long was this damn performance? It was at least 10 minutes.
He had a couple of his old songs, and then he did the Divas theme song to play them to the ring. So
yeah, because he opened up with
also, real quick, they edited that off the Blu-ray. I don't even know if it's on the network or not, but
it is.
So it was for nothing. Okay, at least back then it was for nothing.
Yeah, that's weird because apparently they got the rights, so they've got it on the network, and they did edit something on the network about Kid Rock that I'll get to in a bit.
Body slamming Democrats?
Good Lord, no.
I'm sorry, the line's just funny to me.
They edited it off where he drove his 1948 Camaro or 1978 Camaro to the gas station to get himself a tall boy and some lottery scratchers.
A 1948 Camaro, that'd be a sight.
Yeah, 78, I misspoke. But yeah, so
back to the future thing. Sorry.
The opening match was actually the Money in the Bank ladder match, and dude, I'm glad I watched this back to get crowd reaction memory because I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of this card. I know I've seen it, but it's been 10 years, and I don't remember. And I don't remember the crowd reactions, man. And like you said, this was...
I want to say this. I think if you go back and watch those old ones compared to now, they were more traditional crowds.
Yeah.
The Raw after WrestleMania, for example, wasn't that big. Right. In my opinion, that didn't start getting big until 29. We'll say 28. That's when Brock came back. That's when that Raw started to matter. So the crowd wasn't the same.
Right. Well, there were a few odd crowds here and there, but it wasn't super. It wasn't super marquee crowds like we have today. Just once in a blue moon.
Well, haven't you got enough trouble this week with that?
Oh, hey, I can call somebody a mark. All right. What I got in trouble for before was I'm not going to get into that. Either way,
that's why the Twitter is down. That's all we'll say. Anyways,
it's back up. You leave me alone.
I said was.
Yeah. The Money in the Bank ladder match participants. This is a who's who of what the F. CM Punk, Christian, Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin, MVP. Okay, and then we got Finlay. All right, Kane, maybe Mark Henry. What the hell? Oh, and by the way, Finlay had Hornswoggle with him, and Mark Henry had Tony Atlas with him.
You know what's funny? The most not surprising one is Shelton Benjamin. Because if it's a Money in the Bank match, he's in it.
He was in all of them back in the day because they knew he was going to do something crazy, which he freaking did. Damn near killed himself at one point by doing a front flip off the ladder.
That ain't enough to get a world title, though.
Yeah. Well, and Kofi Kingston was in there.
Yes.
Kofi Kingston was in there, and he didn't do anything crazy at this time, but it was...
Oh, what do you mean? You did something.
What? I don't even... Oh, the boom drop on the ladder? Well...
Was this the one where you walked him like stilts, too?
No, that was years later. That was after... Because I guess after Shelton left, he's like, okay, now I have to step it up.
And he did in the Royal Rumble, too. So he saw his Money in the Bank and raised the Royal Rumble. There you go.
Yep. But yeah, Kofi, it was weird after seeing him in the New Day all these years. He comes out here in the Jamaican colors, coming out to SOS. So it was odd. But cool at the same time. But
Remember what he said, 2009 was his best year.
Yeah. I forgot to mention, the commentary team for this show was JR, King, and Michael effin' Cole.
Okay, what's wrong with that? It's Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael Cole was... dude, like, JR did the play-by-play. Michael Cole just said stupid crap. Like, he was there to, quote, tell the stories. And he sucked. It sounded like he was reading off of a piece of paper, just like today. So I'm telling you this. It's been 10 years since this event. He hasn't improved in a decade.
What are you talking about? His streak at WrestleMania would start 2 years later.
A decade, Greg. He still sucks.
But he's undefeated at WrestleMania.
Still sucks.
He's done something the Undertaker hasn't, so you shut your mouth.
Oh, good Lord. Just shut the hell up. But either way, I watched this match back, and after you were talking about Christian should have won, and I was like, well, whatever. I don't know. Dude, this crowd was... Dude, when Christian went up to grab the title, or the contract, pal, and it looked like he was...
Yeah, it's not a briefcase.
Yeah, and it looked like he was going to grab it. Dude, that crowd went freaking nuts.
Well, Ramon was there. He told me they cheered because they thought it was it. Like, that's what... I think that's what he said, or one of my other friends was there. They said that what you heard on TV was because they knew it was over. Like, quote, knew.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah, but then who should stop him but CM Punk, who, by the way, was a baby face and the Marks loved him at the time, and he got booed.
Yeah, like they don't now, but yeah.
Well, some. But, dude, he got booed. And... yeah. That wasn't the end of the match. It went on for a little while longer. They booed when Kane was going to grab it because they're like, what the hell? It's okay. He'd get his later. But, dude, when Punk won, they were mixed. You heard a few cheers, few boos. They were more like... It's
funny because the previous year, they lost their crap. Like, yeah. Citrus Bowl erupted.
I was pissed the year before that at 23... When I thought he was going to win, I was like, well, this is Punk's time. And nope, Kennedy won it.
I was more than okay with that.
At the time, I was not a Kennedy fan, so I was a little pissed. I was like, the hell. But then, he didn't even do anything with it. He had to give it up to Edge. But yeah, so I was just like, why? So, that was that.
I mean, it did establish him as a huge heel, to be fair.
Yeah, it did.
When he cashed in.
Well, hey, that was the start of it because they started to boo him. They turned on him at Mania.
Yeah, I mean, then he solidified it when he turned on Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's kind of over a little bit.
That feud was epic. Dude, when he came out cosplaying as Jeff Hardy that one night, there for a half a second, I thought it was Jeff Hardy. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing here? But, yeah, so that went 14 and a half minutes. Up next, man... Here's where we
Great match, by the way, I gotta say.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Finlay used the shillelagh. We got to see Hornswoggle bring in the step ladder. He did a tadpole splash off the top rope.
I may be seeing him this Friday, by the way. So.
Oh man, you got to get a picture of him and Dink and Glacier all in the same spot, man.
Sure, I got a picture of him and you in the same spot.
Oh, eat me.
Although Hornswoggle's like 2 feet taller, but you know.
He's not even 2 feet tall. What are you talking about? But after this match, we got the Kid Rock performance. And this went on forever. But then he does... What was the damn song he did? Something about hot, whatever.
It was Just So Hot. That's what it was called.
Oh, okay. That, Just So Hot. And when he starts doing that...
Of course he had to get Ball with a Ball in there, by the way.
Yeah, that was his opener. I was like, okay. He went through his career because he did that, he did something else, and then he did All Summer Long.
He didn't do American Badass, right?
No, he didn't do that one.
That might have been a little awkward.
Yeah, right. But yeah, he did, and he did All Summer Long, and then he closed with that.
That was a good one,
Yeah. But then when he started doing the last song, all the divas came out and danced when they walked by him.
You know what's funny, by the way? There was a couple of returns in there, and they got no mentions.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm going to be wrong. I'm not crapping on him. It's like, okay, Tori Wilson's back. Big deal. But it's like, no one even acknowledged it. You know, Molly Holly was in there, I think.
Sonny was in there.
No acknowledgement. Yeah.
Like, I didn't even see her. Dude,
you only know it because they say it on the commentary. I think I didn't see her either.
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, Sonny's been eliminated." I was like, "Where the hell was she?" It was super weird, and I'm like, "Dude, you're bringing back like old time like legends and whatever, quote unquote, or popular superstars from years prior."
Hall of Fame, you can call her a legend.
Yeah, and nothing. That I heard that's why Trish was like, "Nah." And it was just a cluster. But the women all had to walk by and dance as they're walking by Kid Rock. Look, they were all very attractive. But this established that there was only like...
Especially that winner. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, oh gosh. But there was only like 2 women out of that whole bunch that could dance. The best being Melina, from what I've seen. The rest of them, like I think Jillian Hall was okay. And like the rest of them just looked like they were forced and awkward. Like not a dancer in the bunch besides Melina. It was real awkward. But yeah, so they have this effing match, Battle Royal, whatever, and it went 7.5 minutes. It came down to, was it Beth Phoenix and, was it Mickie James or, I don't even remember. Beth Phoenix goes to eliminate, I think, like I said, I think it was Mickie James, and Santino Marella in drag.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's in drag.
That's Santino. That was not Santino.
It was.
You get it right?
Yeah, it was. He was in drag, and he was going by the name Well, we don't know his name yet. Her name, whatever. It is ma'am, okay?
Oh my God.
I had to throw it in there.
You're getting a letter. I ain't touching that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't, but that's beside the point. But she, whatever, goes up, dumps him over the top rope. Beth Phoenix is furious, and they crown Santino the queen, Miss WrestleMania.
The unknown.
What?
The unknown.
Yeah,
that's what we'll call her.
Crowned this person the Miss WrestleMania, and they say, "What's your name?" And the person says, "I am Santino Marella. I am Santino's cousin from Italy. Yay!" Or twin sister. Excuse me, I think he said twin sister from Italy.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah. Well, I had to get it right, Craig.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
I might be getting a letter. Well, actually...
Wrong letter, but...
Send pics of your burgundy pants.
Oh, my God.
But...
I might see him Friday, too.
Yay! It's in the archives, people. Go check it out. But regardless...
A full-length episode on Burgundy is coming.
Oh, yeah. Hooray. But yeah, this crapper went on for 7.5 minutes, and I'm like, what the hell? By the way...
7 minutes too long.
Mae Young was a special guest timekeeper, and she was sitting there with Candice Michelle. I
might have been more entertained if Mae Young was in this match. I'm not joking.
I would have been more entertained.
I am not joking.
I would have been more entertained if Candice Michelle was in the match. But that's beside the point.
Okay. Some innuendo in there. I'm going to leave that alone.
Right? But anyway, up next is a handicap elimination match. It's Chris Jericho versus the Hall of Famers, Jimmy Snuka, Ricky Steamboat, and Roddy Piper, and they have the newly retired Ric Flair in their corner.
This match sounds like crap on paper. It was not that bad.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. The video package for the hype package for all of this, there's Jericho versus the old guys, it was fantastic. Like, it was great. And it made me remember how much I loved this Chris Jericho right here. The best in the world at what I do. He was freaking great, dude. He beat the tar out of Ric Flair 1 week on Raw.
He said Nitro almost.
I almost did, yeah. I don't know why. But yeah, I'll say this. You know how I usually say I have a Jax figure of them?
Of course.
Well, this week, I actually have a Mattel figure of that Jericho.
Oh, I think I do too. No, I don't. I have the last Jericho. And who do you have Jax figures of in this match?
Ric Flair? But
there it is.
And Roddy Piper. So there you go. I do not have a Jimmy Snuka, unfortunately, and I have a Mattel figure of Ricky Steamboat. Dude, the crowd doesn't give a damn about Jimmy Snuka. Like, they mildly pop.
I know. I felt bad. He was like the odd one out.
Yeah, they mildly pop. They're like, yay. He's like, dude, I was like, what's the reverse of a flashback? Like flash forward, I guess, of like, I'm seeing Tamina's future. Like,
that sucks.
Yeah, you could you could hear a pin drop. Like, Jimmy, you hear super fly, and like the crowd goes mild. But then Roddy Piper comes.
Apollo Crews like, man, I'm not even that bad.
Right. Well, the crowd blows her crap for Piper and Flair. Even like Ricky Steamboat gets a mild reaction. It's not even that big, but they blow for...
They'd make up for it the next night.
Yeah. Well, they blow for Piper, they blow for Flair, and Flair comes out and gets super weird and has to kiss everybody. That was... I'm like, I mean, whatever floats your boat, dude, but...
No, there's anything wrong with that.
Wow. But, yeah, then the match... it was... a match. Piper insists on starting. He wore his shirt, which was nice. Not to like crap on the dead.
No, just move on. Just don't.
He wasn't in good shape, okay? But none of them were. I mean,
he's passed away. Just move on. Shut your mouth. You're getting letter.
Well, for any of you that know, I was a huge Piper mark. Like, huge. I've got multiple...
I met him.
I've got multiple figures of him. But Piper was really sloppy in this match, and he probably should not have been in a ring at this point.
Let's be honest. In this match, 1.5 guys belonged, okay? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right up front.
Well, like I said, Piper was just... I mean, he tried. He really tried. But, nah. Snuka looks like he was, like, on... Like, if you go on YouTube, you can set the playback speed to, like, 1/5 or 1/25th play speed. That was Jimmy Snuka.
Good grief.
And he had noodle arms at this point.
At Pod Society on Twitter, folks.
Well, he was an old man. I mean, come on. He just, like, I'm like, why was he in a ring? Like, there's, like, no justification for him being in a wrestling ring at this point. None. Steamboat, however, he's slower, but he looked really great for his age. I mean, he was, like, half speed, Ricky Steamboat, which is still pretty good.
Good!
And especially when he comes in third, that made him look all that much better. Because,
True.
Oh, good Lord. I wrote, Jericho is essentially wrestling 2 bags of sand and a half-speed Ricky Steamboat. He locked in, because Snuka was the first to go out. He kind of locked in the walls of Jericho, and Jimmy Snuka, like, gingerly patted the mat with his fingers to tap out. It was awful. And then, I don't even remember how he beat Hot Rod.
Didn't he roll him up or something?
Something like that. It was weird, but he ended up getting the win on Steamboat in the end, and then he challenges Mickey Rourke to get in the ring. From what I heard, that was supposed to be the original match. Was him and Rourke at Mania.
Yeah,
but Rourke's people in Hollywood told him, you don't want to get mixed up in a fake wrestling match. That'll make you look terrible.
Well, one of the things people say was, it was going to hurt his Oscar chances.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't believe that. Because the Oscars happen in January or even February.
Yeah.
Do you need a calendar?
Yeah, it was stupid. And I was just like...
What are they going to do, take it back from him?
Right, yeah. But I'm just like, what the hell? And apparently, he's supposed to... Like, Jericho called him in the ring afterwards, and it took forever. He finally gets in the ring. They do some back and forth, and finally Rourke, knocks him out. And apparently, if you listen to Rumor Innuendo, he was afraid that, like, maybe Jericho wouldn't, it would try to shoot on him or something. So with him, he had, like, Frank Shamrock and some other, like, MMA fighter, special forces guy, whatever. And I'm like...
The hell be afraid of Frank Shamrock nowadays?
Yeah, I was just like, really? Like, did you, like, it's Chris Jericho. Do you really have to have, like, 2 MMA fighters with you? Plus, you're a former professional boxer? Like, whatever. Either way. Dude, this next match, man, holy mother of God. We get Matt versus Jeff Hardy in an Extreme Rules match. This was actually really good.
I had forgotten about that match, actually, until I watched it back in.
This was about 13 and a half minutes. I will say this. I think the storyline leading up to the match was 50-50 good and bad. Like, 50%...
I would have avoided the dog part, yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, the whole storyline...
That's all. That's my only issue with it.
Yeah, it was stupid. But the whole storyline leading up to it was like Matt was tired of Jeff always getting the main event chances, and he doesn't get anything, and he gets relegated to the mid-card and whatever.
What are you talking about? He was the champion of ECW. He was a world champion.
You made this point with Chavo. That's not, like... the belt meant nothing.
World champion of a show.
Technically, they never called it a world title. They just said it was the...
But it was.
He was the champion of a television show, a 1-hour television show on the Sci-Fi Network. That means nothing.
Well, when you put it like that, I mean...
That's like saying I'm the Ghost Hunters world champion. Nobody gives a damn. But, yeah, so that part was cool. Like you said, Jeff Hardy's real house in real life, something happened, it caught fire and burned down when he wasn't home, and his dog got caught inside and did burn to death. And they made that part of the storyline that Matt never admitted that he did it, but he dropped hints that it was him, and it was so bad. It just... Why? And... I don't know. There was a bunch of other stuff, like him sabotaging Jeff's car and causing him to get into a wreck, and it's just some weird crap. The storylines leading up to this WrestleMania were weird. All right?
Wasn't there something about him getting caught in the pyro and it blew up on him?
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Like, his pyro on the stage went off in his face, and they acted like this was a shoot, bro!
Well, it's real when Jimmy Wang Yang runs out.
Oh, man. Party bus Jimmy Wang Yang, man. For those of you that don't know, he runs a party bus here in Cincinnati. But that's beside the point.
Is it country?
Well, what else would it be, Greg?
Okay.
It's also camouflage. But yeah, the match itself was really good. And I enjoyed it. It went... Like I said,
well, considering who's in it, it better be good.
13 and a half minutes. Matt wins. I forgot that he freaking won this match.
I was shocked when it happened.
Yeah. Jeff goes for a move off the top of the ladder. I know, shocking. And he misses. And Matt...
Again, shocking.
Yeah. And Matt Matt pins him. That's it. By the way, here's an odd factoid for you. This WrestleMania loss made Jeff Hardy 0-5 at the event.
He's 0-5 when coming off of a ladder.
Yeah. Yeah. Russ, think about this. He didn't break his, WrestleMania losing streak until 33 in Orlando. 33, right?
Yep.
Yeah, in Orlando.
I was there.
That was his first win in WrestleMania history. Think about that. That's bad. But regardless, so that was good. Up next, this next match, man, was a thing. It was for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, man.
JBL defends against Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Here's a factoid for you, by the way. This was the first Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania in 7 years. And it sucked. It hadn't been defended since WrestleMania X8.
That match was pretty good.
Yeah. This?
It was Regal and Van Dam.
Yeah. By the way,
no.
What?
Talking about this match was like not even a match.
Yeah. Well, I never realized this before, but when JBL comes out, he had the stock market, or the stocks going around the ticker in like the arena. Did you ever see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I was like, never noticed that before. But yeah, Rey Mysterio, he cuts a big promo that he's going to win it in Texas. He's the returning Texas hero and whatever. Sure. Rey Mysterio is the Joker from Dark Knight. Dude, when he comes out, like, the commentary just shuts the hell up, like, they're confused.
Do you know why?
No.
Oh. So, the reason they got quiet is, and they cut this off the broadcast, I believe, you can probably look it up on YouTube. Jim Ross makes a very terrible, I don't know if it was a joke or not. No pun intended. He comes out like the Joker.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, wow. He's like, paying homage to Heath Ledger's Joker. He's like, what do you think, JR? And JR says, well, I think Rey Mysterio's career is alive and well.
No, that's on there.
That's why they got silent, though.
Well,
they kind of move it around. There's something else is said, too.
Oh, I don't...
But they cut a lot of stuff out about bantering about that.
Oh, I don't know, because, like...
it goes silent because of that.
That's weird, because it's like an awkward silence, and then, like, as he's walking to the ring, King says, paying tribute to the late, great Heath Ledger, and JR says, I think Rey Mysterio's career is alive and well, King.
That was the most effed up thing he's ever said.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy hell, why did they leave that in there?
I guess there was, like, what I heard, like, there was a whole bunch of commotion on there, and it got weird.
Yeah, because he probably said that, and Vince McMahon screaming, son of a, what the hell? That was, yeah, but, this was bad. But Rey comes out and proceeds to whoop his ass, beats him in 27 seconds, and JBL...
Get to the next part. That's about my favorite part.
JBL, like, sits around looking like he's gonna, like, break down. Then he grabs a mic and Commander Man Boobs quits.
I quit!
Yeah. He just, quits there in front of his home crowd and says, you're gonna miss my man boobs. I mean, you're gonna miss JBL.
Not really.
Yeah. We didn't miss him at all. But yeah. So that match sucked. And then we go into the most epic match of the night. The pre-match hype package for Undertaker and Shawn Michaels was absolutely amazing. And I'm going to start a new trend here. I have a Mattel figure of that Shawn Michaels.
Oh, you got that one? I could never find it. When I do, it's like $300 now.
Guess who I found it with? His nickname's actually Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yeah, he wanted to trade me a Jax figure for it, and I was like, no? But yeah, so...
You lost out on that deal.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. But this match, I don't even know what to say about this match, man. It was amazing. It went on for... It was Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, went on for 30 minutes, 44 seconds. This was the one where Snuka was holding the camera. He was supposed to be the cameraman and catch Undertaker when he dove outside of the ring. He was out of position. So Shawn Michaels grabs him, tries to yank him into position, and Undertaker does a header. But he somewhat tries to catch him, and it ends up like Undertaker lands on a combo, the ground, the camera, and Snuka all at once, and snaps the camera in half. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
So we got 2 terrible performances by Snukas that night. They're 0-2. Good Lord. We should have had Tamina out there and made it an even 3.
So you almost killed him. Big deal.
What the hell? Oh, Foggy McDeadpants almost died right in front of all of us. But yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go see it. One of the greatest matches of all time. This was one of Undertaker's, this was right before Undertaker really started his decline. He had this, he had a few more good ones in him. This one, the next year, the next 2 years against Triple H, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a few. He had a few more manias. Now he's just an attraction. But that's that. Up next, we had the first world title match of the night. It was the weirdest triple threat in history, and I'm sticking to that. It was for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Edge was the defending champion. The storyline was he was supposed to defend against Big Show. Vicky Guerrero, who was the general manager at the time, for some reason gave Big Show the shot. And Edge was like, okay, sure, me versus Big Show at Mania, whatever. And then John Cena comes out and interrupts everything and says, wait a minute, I've got video footage. Don't ask me how he freaking got it, but apparently he got locker room footage of Vicky cheating on Edge, who she was supposed to be married to, with Big Show. So that's why Big Show got the shot. And John Cena blackmailed her for some reason into letting him in the match. This sucked, dude.
How dare you?
This freaking sucked. A love triangle between Big Show, Edge, and Vicky Guerrero.
That's got money written all over it, dude.
And somehow John Cena's in there. Because, well, apparently they didn't think Edge and Big Show had enough star power for WrestleMania. Oh my good Lord. I will say this. The match was fine. I didn't hate it, oddly enough. Vicky was speared by Edge on Raw accidentally, and now she's being wheeled to the ring by Chavo Guerrero. We get another Chavo sighting. Yeah, it's your boy, man.
Actually, I believe that's your boy going on the last podcast.
Yeah. I have a Jax figure of him.
Of course you do. Wasn't she wheeled out on a wheelchair in 24 when Edge faced the Undertaker?
I don't remember.
I think she was.
Probably.
My God, that's 2 years in a row.
What is with...
I didn't realize that.
What's with people getting wheeled out in wheelchairs? It was like Linda McMahon was wheeled out at 17.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. But anyway, even though Edge is a champion, he enters first. He gets the Macho Man treatment. Think about this.
Yeah.
He enters before the Big Show.
Oh, first or last, right?
Yeah. Well, the only one out of these three who gets a special entrance is John Cena. And this was this is probably my least favorite John Cena entrance of all time. It was okay. They start playing basic...
The year before sucked worse, so...
What was it the year before?
They had a high school band come out and perform his song.
Oh. Yeah.
That was terrible.
That was blah. But yeah, this one, they play basic thugonomics, and a bunch of John Cena lookalikes come out. They line the ramp, and then they start playing his actual theme. and he runs out between them all while they're doing You Can't See Me. Kid blew ass. But anyway, this was pretty good. I liked it. All three guys did well, especially Edge and Cena. But Big Show pulled his weight. The match ends with, like, Edge is on Big Show's back with a sleeper hold. Cena tries to picks them both up at the same time with an AA. Edge ends up falling off, and he AAs Big Show. Then he AAs Edge on top of Big Show, and then pins him. The funniest part was, like, John Cena. At first, I was like, what the hell is he doing? John Cena, like, takes the belt, the championship, pal. The
strap.
And he runs out into the crowd and poses with the crowd. But then he finds a dinner with a I Hate John Cena t-shirt, and he poses with him before going to the back. That was great. But then we get the Hall of Fame inductees, man. I'm not going to go through them all because there's a lot, and you guys don't give a crap. It was like a very Texas-centric one because they had like the Funks, and Stone Cold was the headliner. I forgot Bill freaking Watts went into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
I was kind of speechless at that point. Can you imagine if, like, the social the public social media outrage stuff was around back then?
Oh, I know.
Good Lord. They would have, like, pulled his induction.
I think they don't even include him in their package anymore because of that.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, man. Because they announced Cowboy Bill Watts, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. That was something. And, of course, they had the Von Erichs go in with Kevin accepting for him. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, why they wouldn't want Bill Watts in there, you might want to do some Google searching. But we're here, man. It's the main event. I forgot all the build-up to this. It was basically Orton wanted a WWE title match, so he beats up every member of the McMahon family and punts them in the head. The only one he didn't punt in the head was Stephanie. He just gave her an RKO.
And a kiss while she was out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened in 2019 either. Oh, think of all the social media outrage from that. But
internet ruins everything.
Basically. Triple H gets pissed off about this, so as we alluded to earlier, he busts into Orton's house with a sledgehammer. Orton, who was in the house with a paid actress that was supposed to be his wife, by the way, he chases him through the house, throws him out the front window, and the cops show up and arrest Triple H. And the stipulation that, like, just all of this stuff I mentioned, and, like, this was another question I had. Like, there was a part where, like, Orton comes to the ring with security protecting him, and Triple H comes out flanked by Shane and Vince, and they come to the ring. I'll say this, it made for a cool visual, but, like, they start beating through the security, like, to get to Orton, and then Orton takes off. Why did, like, doesn't Vince own the company?
Allegedly.
Doesn't he pay the rent in those buildings that they're in and pay for the security?
Allegedly.
So why the hell did he have to beat his way through them?
Maybe they're Randy Orton's private security.
Why were they allowed in Vince's building?
Maybe because Orton is and he brought his guests. I don't know.
It's like, that's the only thing that I was sitting there like, why did this happen? Everything else I was down with. That, nah. But either way, I have a Mattel figure of this Triple H, by the way.
Yep, I have no doubt.
That's my new thing. We moved from Jakks to Mattel now. But the stipulation after all of this, and the bad blood and whatever, is Triple H has a temper and he might lose it on Randy Orton. So Orton convinces Vicky to make the stipulation that if Triple H is counted out or gets disqualified, Orton becomes the new WWE champion. That neutered the match right there.
Well, yeah. There wasn't another thing he couldn't bring a sledgehammer out or couldn't use a sledgehammer?
No, it was just if he gets DQ'd, he's done.
No, there was something about a sledgehammer, and I'll tell you why I remember. Because he has a sledgehammer in his entrance, right? He blasts through the glass with it. Well, apparently they said if they see a sledgehammer, he's disqualified. Every fanboy blew up going, well, yeah, the entrance, he should have been disqualified for the match started. This was a huge thing. I'm not joking.
Yeah, but the match didn't start.
They said if they see one there, it was over.
Oh, hell. Well, that would explain why he did what he did later in the match, but we'll get to that. Yeah, this... Well, I don't know, because freaking Orton goes out and he grabs a sledgehammer. He wasn't disqualified.
Well, that was the stipulation. Triple H couldn't use it.
Yeah. Well, Orton... I'll say this. The match wasn't bad. It just could have been way better.
Well, Triple H himself said that they had an amazing match plan. And then last minute they went all PG and said, can't do any of this, and this. And it became just what we got.
Well, yeah. Couldn't he,
He said he was, legit pissed.
This was a blood feud. Notice, nope, can't get disqualified. Can't get counted out. Nope. Are you effing kidding me? If any main event ever needed a stipulation, this was it. And even Randy Orton's blasted the match, saying that stipulation completely neutered the match.
Yep.
But yeah, it was weird. Randy Orton goes to climb in the ring at one point, and Triple H punts him in the face. And then the ref gets bumped. He blasts Randy Orton with a sledgehammer, and then he hides it back under the ring instead of the usual just throwing it out of the ring. And he wins. So Triple H retained. This...
Yep.
You think about Triple H's record at WrestleMania, it's 50-50.
It is. It's less than 500. So
yeah, he's got... I think he has the most losses in WrestleMania history at 12. The two men who are tied, or who he had a three-way tie with them at one point, was Shawn Michaels, Big Show, and him were all sitting at 11. And I can't remember which one. I think it was 30. Did he have a match at 33?
Who?
Triple H.
Yeah, it's Seth Rollins.
That's right, yeah. I can't remember if it was 32 or 33. One of them was his 12th loss. So he beat the record for the most losses in Mania history, which blows my mind because he's had so many wins that people point to and was it was BS. But I don't know, man. It's kind of like Shawn Michaels has 11 freaking losses, yet he's Mr. WrestleMania. My biggest problem with this whole scene is Triple H holding the spinner title.
Yeah, it looks really weird.
It's dumb.
Especially in his entrance, because they focus heavy on it.
Yeah. His entrance was kind of cool, but that was, dangerous as hell. Because when he throws that sledgehammer for a split second when it shatters, you can see him jump backwards, trying not to get glass in him. He has the most dangerous entrances of all time because
I'm the best.
He did that, and then I can't remember which one it was. He walked through and got burned by dry ice.
29.
Yeah. Good grief. Him and The Undertaker share that whole thing of they've both been injured during their entrance. Both of them have been burned, 3rd degree. There you go. But yeah, so that was the freaking show, man. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up when we come back. That show was something else. We're going to take another quick break here. Before we do, want to let you know about WrestlingWithWrestling.com. Although we don't cover the latest breaking news here anymore on the podcast, you can get it on WrestlingWithWrestling.com. They've also got rundowns of your favorite shows, whether you can watch them or not. For wrestling, they'll give you the results. They've got podcasts covering just a whole bunch of different subjects across the wrestling world, interviews, videos, and stuff from the indies here in the States and abroad. Get all the latest stuff from around the wrestling world, and some good classic stuff, too, at WrestlingWithWrestling.com, covering all four corners of the ring. When we come back from this promo break, we'll wrap this up and tell you what we're going to be covering next week, our final week before WrestleMania 35. We'll be right back.
DramaCityProductions.com.
Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host, Ben. A podcast about nothing and everything. A podcast where we get together with friends, drink beer, and see where the conversation takes us. We don't edit. We don't care what people say. It's small town people with a small town mentality. It gets offensive at times, lots of swearing, and a whole lot of not caring. Available everywhere you get podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at STMPod, on Instagram at STMPodcast, and on Facebook at Small Town Mentality Pod. We'll see you there.
DramaCityProductions.com.
Game ticket, $50. Hot dog, $8. Team store item, $25.
I told him I can beat him with one hand tied behind my back, with some glasses on with one eyelid's out, with some flip-flops on in the ring.
Having you listen to someone's dumb sports opinions? Worthless. Some people shouldn't talk sports. For everyone else, there's the Unspoken Podcast, available on most podcasting platforms, and on the web at theunsporkensportspodcast.weebly.com.
All right, we're back, and I guess it's time, man. Let's cover some of the reception from this thing, man. Gordon Holmes from Comcast criticized the mini concert by Kid Rock, saying Kid Rock gets 10 minutes and The Miz and Morrison don't blasphemy. He also criticized the 25 Divas Battle Royal, which, quote, was a bit of a mess. We didn't even get proper introductions for returning divas like Sunny, Molly Holly, and Tori Wilson. You and I were talking about that earlier. Oy. Dale Plummer of Canadian Online Explorers Slam Sports said that the top of this year's card looked an awful lot like last year's. Just swap out Floyd Mayweather for Shawn Michaels, and everyone else was the same. However, he praised Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels match by rating it a 10 out of 10, his highest rated match. But if it would have taken place in the Tokyo Dome, it would have been 20 out of 10.
Damn right.
Oh, man. Overall, he rated the event a 7.5 out of 10. Wade Keller of the Pro Wrestling Torch newsletter also criticized Kid Rock's performance, but praised Undertaker vs. Michaels' match. He rated it a 5 out of 5 and stated that the match that deserves to end the show was Taker and Michaels. IGN offered their own review of WrestleMania 25, with IGN TV writer Dave Iverson praising Kofi Kingston, Shawn Michaels, and Ricky Steamboat for their performances, but also criticizing WWE for not showing the tag team unification match during the event itself. He finished off the review by stating it was just too bad that the potential of the card wasn't lived up to, also giving it an overall rating of 7 out of 10. Wow. And a writer whose name I can't pronounce on Sports Illustrated said that Mickey Rourke's appearance, quote, may have been one of the worst executed in WrestleMania history.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I think that was a bit harsh. But yeah, I think everybody's criticism was about the same. A lot of criticism for that main event, man. I guess Wade Keller gave the main event a 3.75 out of 5 stars. He called it good, both well-plotted and well-executed, appropriate to the storyline and feud, but added that it just wasn't able to follow the classic 2 matches earlier. Wait, did he just seriously call that triple threat a classic?
Sure.
I don't even know what to say.
Opinion.
Yeah.
Terrible opinion.
Kevin Eck of the Baltimore Sun stated that that he was disappointed that it didn't feel more special after some great angles on TV. Yeah. And somebody from Slam Wrestling wrote, "That's it?"
I'm with him.
Yeah. Kind of fell flat. Small and all, yeah.
Flatter than a plate of piss.
Wow. Flatter than a plate full of piss, mother effer.
She came out of her back. Just WrestleMania wasn't over.
The hell. I will say this. I don't know. What was better, this year or the next year?
26 had some better stuff, I thought.
I don't know which was better, to be honest with you. Both of them were kind of stinkers, but it was what it was. I don't know. I watched it back. It was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, I'll say that. I mean, I did have to sit through WrestleMania 1 and 5.
You act like that's bad.
Well, it wasn't good. Either way, this was what it was, and next week will be what it is, man. It is our final stop on this journey through WrestleMania land. We're covering WrestleMania 30, which you and I almost went to. It's weird that the Mania we almost went to was in the same place as the Mania that we ended up finally going to.
Yeah, right?
We skipped out on Nollins and Mr. T's speech about his mama.
His awkward speech about his mama.
Yeah, it was super weird. But we made up for it by getting an awkward speech from Hillbilly Jim about his mama. So it all worked out.
He calls honey.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end. I just, that was something, man. I do think we got a much better show at 34.
Oh, hell yeah.
But we will cover what transpired at WrestleMania 30 and all the goop around it next week when we bring you that from the Big Sleazy. When that show airs, actually, Greg, I believe you'll be in New York City.
Can't wait.
What day are you flying in on?
I'm leaving on April 2nd.
You will be landing when our WrestleMania 30 review plays or drops on the internet. So, safe travels, and
thanks.
I'm sure you'll love it. Are you trekking around via subways again?
We're probably staying in Times Square, so maybe not so much.
Not bad. Well, Pixar didn't happen, remember that. And, it's going to be a good time. I'm amped up for WrestleMania. Even though, we criticized some stuff early on about the show, we did let everybody know we're not crapping on it. It looks like a great show. There are just a couple things that I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? And I think that's fair. I always love WrestleMania when it's in New York, man. It just has a certain feel to it.
Oh, it's home.
Hell yeah. And TakeOver New York that weekend is going to be fantastic. Looking forward to all that. And it's just going to be a huge weekend of wrestling, so. But all right, man, we'll catch up with you next week. And I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Catch up on the archives. We will also reveal next week what our next subject is moving on, where we take a deep dive and a large perspective on a certain subject that I think you'll all find very entertaining. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Of course.
And we'll see you all next week. Later.
This has been a Drama City production.